Hey there friends, I'm Melanie and you're watching akaMommy, and I am here today to share with you the Mommy Tag 2.0. Now I've seen a couple of people on YouTube do this and it just looks fun. I love tag videos, probably because I don't actually have to come up with the content myself. That makes me sound really good. Okay, so there are 20 questions in this tag. I'm going to try to fly through them as fast as I can, so you guys, let's go. I have 4 children. My oldest is 14. I have one who is 13. My son, these are both my daughters. I have a 6-year-old son, and I have a toddler who is 2.5. She is the princess of the family. So 4 kids, 14, 13, 6, and 2, and oh my gosh, I have gray hairs because of these children. I really have to say that probably what makes me the most proud is when I see my kids like inspiring other people. When I see my kids being kind and loving to others, you know, on the playground or just in life in general. When I see my son holding the door open for someone when we go out to a restaurant, you know, it's just, it makes me so proud. It makes me feel like, yes, I'm actually doing something right. They're learning some things. Like, these are my, I'm like, yes, that's my kid. And it just, that is an amazing feeling. I mean, how much time do we have here? Like, seriously, not only do I have 4 kids, but I'm a stay-at-home mom who homeschools my kids. Therefore, there's a whole lot of time in the day for me to get frustrated. But I think the most frustrating thing for me as a parent is when my kids are dishonest. For me, honesty is absolutely, it's huge. Like, I can tolerate a lot of things. I cannot tolerate dishonesty. And so when my kids are dishonest, it's, hello, what do we have going on up here? When my kids are dishonest, it's super frustrating for me because I just cannot seem to get them to understand that no matter what the truth is always better than a lie. So that would probably be my biggest frustration as a parent. We have various ways that we discipline our kids. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in this video because the last time I talked about disciplining our kids, I got a whole lot of hate coming my way. So I will just say that we use a lot of positive reinforcement with our kids. When our kids really step out of line, we do a whole lot of talking with our kids, like a lot of talking. I sometimes feel like, we just talked about this, but that's what we do. We talk to our kids a whole lot. I really try to reason with my kids quite a bit. And like, I want them to understand why what they have done is wrong. Not just, hey, you messed up and now you're going to receive a punishment. I want them to understand it. I want them to learn how to think through these things for themselves. We ground our kids. We will take away electronics. We will take away privileges, and on rare occasions, it doesn't happen very often, but we have in the past, and we currently do still spank our kids. Really rarely, like, it very rarely ever happens, and it does not happen with our older kids. It's really just the younger kids. So I did a whole video on that. Like I said, it was not super well received, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Please understand that these are the decisions that we've made for our family. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine, but please keep your comments respectful down below. I do not. I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you that I don't ever utter a curse word, because occasionally one will slip out of my mouth, but I don't do it in front of my kids. In fact, the worst word that I say in front of my kids probably is crap. And some people really hate that word, like they despise that word. For me, it's kind of just become known as my word, because it's the word that I say when I'm really, really angry about something. That's the word that I say. So that's probably the worst word that I say in front of my kids. Okay, so quick backstory. I did have my 2 oldest daughters before I got married, and so obviously that was kind of a package deal. Has my relationship with my husband changed since we had kids? I mean, of course it has. Like, anytime you add children to a relationship, the relationship is going to change. And I will honestly say that in some ways it's better and in some ways it's worse. Because, you know, before you have kids, you only have each other and you have the other person's full undivided attention. And that, I mean, that's awesome, right? When you have kids, now all of a sudden, the mom especially, your attention gets shifted to your child, and so in a lot of ways that can make your spouse feel left out. So that's not necessarily great, but in a lot of ways, and in my opinion, it's in more ways our relationship has gotten better since having kids, because kids teach us patience and they teach us how to love through adversity, in my opinion, sometimes more than marriage does. And so, yes, my relationship has changed since having kids, and for the most part, completely for the better. Yes. I cannot tell you the number of times that I've uttered a sentence to my kids and been like, oh my gosh, that's totally something that my mom either said or would have said to me. And it's kind of starting to rub off on my oldest kids as well, especially my 14-year-old, because there are so many, I mean, this happens daily. She will be saying something to one of the kids and I'm literally saying exactly the same thing, word for word, at the exact same time, with the same inflection in our tone. So yes, she has definitely picked up on all of those things from me, just like I did from my mom. So have I, you know, started to morph into my mother? A little bit. But you know what? My mom is a rock star, so I'm perfectly okay with that. For a little while, they were pretty non-existent because I was just in a transitional period in my life. A lot of my friendships come from women that I know from church, and when we switched churches, I kind of went a little while without having any close girlfriends, but now I have a good solid group of girlfriends that I would say that my relationships are phenomenal. Obviously there's always room to grow, and I'm hoping that they will, but I try to make one night a month, every single month, no matter what, that I can spend some time with girlfriends. And I really feel like that just makes me a better mom, a better wife, a better person. So yeah, I think that my relationships with my girlfriends are pretty good at this. That is going to be a hard one because I don't really know for sure. I would honestly have to say that it depends on the child, because some of my kids are, I mean, my kids are all interested in different things, but I would say probably one of my favorite places to take my kids is to a park. I mean, they love it. Mostly that's for the little kids. My older girls, I really like taking them shopping and just spending some time together with them, because now that they're teenagers, we can do that and we can just kind of hang out and have a good time, things that we couldn't really do when they were super little. But with my little bitty kids, I love taking them to the park and just seeing them run and play and swing and slide and just have a great time playing outside and just being together. I don't really have a preference. Like, I'm not super against piercing the ears, but I did not pierce my girls' ears until they were much older. Pretty much just because I wanted them to have the choice to be able to do it. You know, my mom had my ears pierced when I was a baby. I was really young, and I don't think that that's a big deal at all. I guess in this situation, I don't really have a preference. I say if you want to pierce your baby's ears, then go for it. It's super cute on baby girls. I didn't do it with my girls, not for any real reason other than I just didn't do it. You know, I wanted to kind of wait until they were a little bit older. And so both of my older girls, I think around the age of 7 or 8, decided that they were ready to get their ears pierced. And so that's when we got it done. And they, yeah, they weren't, you know, unhappy with their decision at all. But I did want to let the decision be theirs. So my skincare products that I use as far as on my face are Rodan & Fields. I did a whole video about that, and I will link that for you guys in a card. I think it's going to pop up maybe over here. So that's what I use for my face. I use whatever going on here, you know, whatever, just body wash, just give me something that smells good and I'm all about it. For my kids, I do use the Honest Company brands for my little bitty kids. For my older girls, they're the same as me. They just use whatever. I mean, sometimes we use Suave, sometimes we use Olay, you know, whatever. Kirkland, I'm all about the Costco brand. But for my little kids, I do use the Honest Company. I like it. I like that it's tear-free. I like that it's gentle on their skin. I do have a discount code for Honest if you've never tried them, and I'll leave that down in the description box below so you can check it out. But yeah, that's what I use for my kids. This is a hard one, honestly, but I was trying to think about it this morning as I was kind of putting my face on. I think it would have to be concealer, like, because I can tend to get redness right here around my nose, somewhat dark underneath my eyes, not super dark. I know that there are people who struggle with severe darkness. I don't have that, but I think concealer is just really good because if you have the right concealer, it can cover up some of your imperfections, and it can just kind of help brighten your face a little bit. So I would say that that would definitely be one that is a must-have for mommies. I take showers because that's what I have time for. I mean, I don't think I've taken an actual soak in a tub bath since before Kyler was born 2.5 years ago. It's been that long. But my kids, my daughter, my 2.5-year-old, she takes baths. Everyone else in my family takes showers just because that's what we have time for. And obviously my 2.5-year-old can't take a shower. So showers for everyone, bath for the toddler. It depends on which baby you're talking about. So, my current weight, yes, I am back to what I weighed before I had Kyler. I weigh less than what I weighed before I had Grant. But my two oldest girls, absolutely not. I will probably never be that weight again. I was in my early 20s when I had them, and so I don't expect to ever be back at that weight, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It would probably look really strange on me if I were that thin. I mean, it is what it is. I'm 37 years old, so this is the weight that I am for now, and I'm perfectly okay with that. But, so, I mean, yeah, to answer the question, I would say my pre-pregnancy weight before Kyler, yes, I'm back to that. My pre-pregnancy weight before Grant, I'm actually lower because I had gotten a little bit heavy before I had Grant. College dreams. Am I going to expect my kids to go to college, or am I going to let them decide? I'm going to let them decide. I mean, I'm going to be really honest. I know that Ryan wants to go to college. She's like hands down wants to go to college. She already knows what college she wants to go to. Camry is undecided at this point. She's only 13, and so I'm okay with that. You know, I am going to expect my kids to do something. You know, if my kids wanted to go to cosmetology school, if my kids wanted to go to trade school, that's great. I mean, I know people who did not go to an official college or university but went to a trade school, and they make a ton of money, like way more money than they need to actually support themselves. So I do not personally feel like you have to go to college in order to have a successful career, or in order to, you know, have the career of your dreams. I mean, that's just how I feel. I don't think that pushing college on your kids is going to make them like say, oh yeah, I totally want to go. I think that if your kids go to college, it needs to be because they want to be there. Otherwise, they're not really going to put in their full effort, and it's really a waste of time and money. You know, because then they might not even graduate, and then you don't even have that college degree. So, yeah, I'm not going to force my kids to go to college. I am going to ask that they do something after they graduate high school. You know, I would like for them to pursue, you know, something that's going to further them and help them to find their path and figure out what they want to do with their lives. But it doesn't necessarily have to be college or a big university. Honestly, and I don't even know that it's a secret in my house, I don't know why, you guys, but I cannot stand Sophia the First. I don't know why. I can't stand that show. I feel like Sophia is so whiny. I don't know why. Like, I really don't know why. I mean, there have been so many shows over the course of the years that my kids have watched. I mean, when my girls were little, they watched Dora, and it used to drive me up the wall. But I promise you, those songs, they stuck in my head because, you know, now 10, 11, 12 years later, they still run through my head. So I never did let my kids watch Barney because no, that was not happening. I could not stand that show. But as far as a current show, my kids like Sophia the First, and I just, for whatever reason, I'm like, I can't stand it. It drives me bonkers. I would say absolutely, if you can, yay. I love cloth diapers. I loved cloth diapering Kyler for the small amount of time that I was able to do it. I absolutely would still have her in cloth diapers. She's potty training right now. I would totally still have her in cloth diapers if it had worked out for us, but she has an extremely sensitive tush. Even with disposable diapers, she's very susceptible to diaper rashes. But yeah, I am all about cloth diapers. I think they are absolutely adorable on tiny little baby bottoms. I don't mind all the cleaning that comes with it, and I love the money saving because can I tell you, with my 2.5-year-old child, I think we cloth diapered her for about 6 months. That was about the most that I could manage trying. And we've been buying disposable diapers for the other 2 years of her life. And, ugh, it's so much money. It is so much money to put diapers on your child. So I am all about cloth diapering if you can. Okay, so I've actually said this one on multiple occasions. You know you're a mom when you find tiny plastic dinosaurs hidden down in the bottom of your purse. Are you with me on that one? You know you're a mom when you find pacifiers in your purse. You know you're a mom when you go out on a date with your girlfriends and you look over and you have snot right here on your shirt. And you don't care. That's how you know you're a mom. You're like, oh yeah, don't worry about that. It's not a big deal. I'm a mom, right? That's how you know you're a mom. Honestly, I don't think that I have. If I have, I don't remember it, but I will certainly go back and look. If that is something you guys would like for me to do, then let me know down in the comment section below. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's been fun to film this for you guys. Leave me a comment down below and let me know some of the answers to these questions, like if you can relate to what I'm saying. But that's going to be it. I hope you guys are all doing very well and that you're very blessed, and I'll be back with another video really soon. Take care, guys. Bye.